What's good, y'all boys? Welcome back again to another video. So, look, okay, if you have been watching my channel, you might remember a video from the other day where I covered those dudes on the whatever podcast. The two regulars, or maybe three regulars, and then the guy, the fat guy in the suit. His name is MLD, Modern Life Dating. So apparently, I never knew who dude was. Apparently, he is also a red pill, alpha male, man empowerment YouTuber, right? Someone who, you know, once Kevin Samuels and people like Andrew Tate and Fresh Prince started coming up, that's when, you know, everybody else wanted to jump on. I get it. It is what it is, you know. Money, you can make some bread, and maybe you want to help people, but, you know. So he's been getting a lot of backlash for the stuff he was saying. Mr. Indoor is what we'll call him. Mr. Indoor. And one thing that's very funny to me is I noticed in this video, look at this, Tokyo. Tokyo's in Japan. Just remember that. Remember that detail. If not for this video, then maybe for the video after this. So, like I said, he's been getting a lot of backlash, you know, obviously, because he said a bunch of stupid shit. And he made a video talking about it. I'm getting canceled. This is 3 days ago at the time of recording this. It's 6 minutes long, and let's see what he says, okay? I have a feeling that he is going to... I'm just playing. I don't have a feeling. I know what he's about to do. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I see that he's just going to double down and try to gaslight as if he didn't say what he really said, what he said, or he didn't mean how it sounded. That's not how it's supposed to come out. Bunch of bullshit. But we about to watch it and watch it in full. Because, you know, certain people like to say that reaction channels like to cut out context to make you look worse than you are. With all the context is going to be right here. So let's jump in right now.
Will they divorce, or do you want them to keep going in the relationship?
Keep going. You can't divorce. I mean, that's not a real thing. You can, like, separate. See,
look what they do again. I noticed this before, and I looked for whatever's clip on it. They cut out the actual question. They left the should they divorce or no. Completely changing the context. People say reaction channels cut out the context. Playback, Auburn Preach. But the literal people who said the crazy shit is cut out the context. When really, if you just go back and look at the full stream, you can see the whole thing. Crazy. They say it's heavily edited. No, y'all the ones that edited cut shit out. He cut out the actual question.
Catholic background shines through. He knows. You can separate, but you can't actually divorce.
You gotta endure. People are too...
Beating your wife is a good reason for a divorce. Like, you can say, okay, well, I stuck through it and we figured out, and maybe you have. But expecting other people who are getting their ass beat to stay in a marriage where they're getting beaten up is crazy. Endure. People quit too easily nowadays. What? That's your response to somebody who's being physically beaten by their partner?
He is saying that, oh, if it's an abusive relationship, you have to endure. This is the problem with snowflake society now. Everyone's such a p***, so they'll ruin a marriage because they think they're so special. You absolute troglodyte. It's not about being special. It's about not getting beat the up in a marriage.
But I think that this guy...
All very reasonable clips, okay?
...has no idea what I'm doing. Because if we were just objectively lay out what our brands are doing side by side, I irrefutably know that every single day I'm working hard with my members in my community to make these men better people. I'm getting these guys jobs. These people are losing weight. They're finding girlfriends. They're finding wives. Okay. These guys are struggling with like traumatized issues that happened in their past that we're helping them get over. I know my conscience is clear. This guy can sit here and pretend to be some moral authority and manipulate the public opinion of me by saying like, oh, this guy, because I guess what they're trying to say is like, if a man...
There's something that they do, and I seen Just Pearl things do this shit too. Look, they're trying to manipulate people and trying to turn them against me. No, bro, no. You said something crazy. Other people saw it and talked about it. No one's manipulating nobody. Because everybody, even before they made a video, people was not on your side, okay? They seen the clip and it's like, yo, this nigga is crazy. Literally everybody. Well, not everybody, but most people saw that and said that was crazy. What are you talking about, endure? You look retarded, dude.
Man is continuously beating a woman.
They're talking
in a relationship.
about physical abuse, yeah.
Right. So they're trying to say that I'm saying that if a man is continuously beating a woman in a relationship, that he
that she
should stay and endure the thing. That's not what I said at all.
That is what you said.
What I'm trying to say is that I think a lot of times, especially now in today's culture, where we're incentivized to divorce, women more so than men, and women are initiating 78% of these divorces on top of that. All I'm saying is that I think that a lot of these cases are when people are just like, they're just giving up. Because back in the day, like, you didn't have the luxury of giving up. And if you just look at the data, when you do divorce, everybody gets messed up, and the kids are the ones that take the most damage. And I think that because right now, America's kind of in this place where everybody's like, yeah, I'm this me individual.
See, when he does damage control, he sounds like a reasonable guy, right? But all of this is contradictory to what you said on that podcast. I think I saw a clip of the host, Brian, I think his name is. He said that, oh, yeah, he was like 7 White Claws deep. I'm like, okay, cool. Why are you going on a podcast you drunk? Or high? Like, why are you, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you got people that are watching you. You know what I'm saying? No. Yeah, of course, divorce isn't a good thing inherently, breaking apart a family. But there are reasons why people divorce. Now, that's not to say, but there are definitely people who just divorce just because they feel like it, or they're just giving up. But I mean, it's an issue. It's an issue. So that part of it is true. However, the situation we was talking about does not relate to that. We was talking about abuse, actual abuse, not abuse where people just say, you know, just like how some people would say, oh, you know, somebody talked to me. Oh my God, she's harassing me. Like, he just said hi. Yeah, there are situations like that where people try to overblow something that happened, but that's not what we were talking about, okay? And you can't frame what people were saying as if that's what it was. No.
Person, and then like, I live my life this way, therefore everybody should accept me, regardless of like the negative consequences that come with this lifestyle as well. Like, I know Destiny and Melina, is that her name?
Yeah.
Melina, they are in an open relationship, but also has a 92% failure rate.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like, yeah, well, it works for us. We're not saying it will work for you. Well, I mean, like,
There's data on open relationships?
with a 92% failure rate, like, people are sitting around waiting.
Well, they also say that they wouldn't recommend that for other people, and that if you're going to have a child, don't do this. Like, they're very open about that. So that to me means there is an acknowledgement that what they're doing is not ideal, you know, in terms of longevity.
Right. And so going back to the guy trying to smear me here, right? That's not what I'm saying. And I think anybody who thinks that I would say for a man to continuously beat a woman and a woman just to, you know,
endure
down and tolerate it, sister.
No,
like,
say the word, endure. That's what you said. Listen, this is why I don't like these snake oil salesmen. I don't like these charlatans. I don't like these swindlers because they try to trick people. We saw what you said. It was very clear. There was no charades, right? There was no underhand movements that was trying to trick you into saying something stupid. No one manipulated the footage. Bruh. Everybody just saw the footage for what it was. You said what you said, and the rest of the motherfuckers fucking agree with you, except for Brian. Brian didn't say nothing. And Chase eventually said, no, that's wrong. But the other motherfucker he was going for it. And you repeatedly said it, endure. This is so rare. This is such a niche example. Okay, even if it is a niche example, which is not, why was it so hard? Why can't you disavow it? You said deal with it. You said endure. Now you're trying to act like that's not what you said. That's why I don't like people like this dude, bruh. Because you're being fake, bruh. If you said something, own up to it. Own up to it. That shows a better character than this. Trying to do damage control. No.
Like, that's not what I'm saying. So if anybody thinks
So my takeaway was this.
Let's see what she says.
From the exchange.
I don't know her.
The meat of what you were getting at, in my perception, was that people give up on relationships too easily these days.
everything.
They have a fight, and suddenly they're on Instagram scrolling, and the ex-boyfriend from 20 years ago is brought back in because you see the past through rose-colored glasses. You have a fight, you know,
Sure.
Any little conflict. People feel like, oh, I have all these options. Part of that is technology because you've got everybody in your phone. There's never any disconnect from former relationships. It's a mess. So I heard that. I think also the issue of when it came up with abuse, I think the word abuse, like if somebody's being abused in my book, that situation needs to end. However, we're talking about physical abuse. However, I think about my grandparents and, you know, my mom and I laugh about it, but my grandma used to chase my grandfather around the house with a loaf of Italian bread that was stale, and she'd be like, boom, boom, boom. And we all laughed about it, but in
That's not
modern
abuse,
days,
yeah, they
that
playing
was like,
around.
that's abusive. You know, it wasn't abusive then. It was like her, and every now and then she'd crack him one, to be perfectly honest. She was like a little Italian old lady. I never saw him hit her, but she'd crack him one, and it would be in mostly jest, but there was also like, you know, there was some level of just, that was the culture. They were married forever until the day they...
Okay, we're not talking about the type of situations, bro. Like, bro, I know men and women who have been in relationships where it was actual, like, they was fighting each other, bro. They fighting. And it was like crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, if... Me personally, bro, I'm not going to be in a relationship with nobody where I have to physically put my hands on you. Or you physically put your hands on me. I wish a motherfucker would put their hands on me, bro. Man or woman, don't fucking touch me. What's wrong with you, okay? Especially not in no damn relationship. What the hell? Especially not in a damn relationship, you gonna put your hands on me. What, like, bro, if you a girl to do that shit, stay away from me, dude. Yeah, I know y'all seen that public interview I did. More coming soon. Where, like, a lot of them girls will say, yeah, they like that shit. They be on that, bro. No thanks. That's ridiculous. Because as a man, bro, there's a lot of consequences that can come your way just off a bad interaction with a woman. If she feels like it or not. That's a dangerous game to play. Real dangerous. You can raise your voice at a girl nowadays. She gonna scream, oh my God, he did it. He did it. You know what I'm saying? And there's no regard to whatever she did that made you raise your voice.
They died, and that I wouldn't, knowing them and seeing their situation, I wouldn't say that was abusive. So I think that word in and of itself, also when you talk about mental abuse, that word gets like very slippery slope. Like, is that someone who got into a fight once and said, you're a jerk? Like, now that's mentally abusive. So I think what I heard from you is like, there's this slippery slope now. Everything is being called abuse. Maybe we should sit back and just remember to take our relationships seriously and only stop the...
I think they're cool with him, so they're trying to be very charitable. That's what I think it is. Because, bro, what the fuck? Oh, you're a jerk. That's mental abuse. Bro, come on, bro. Come on. What are we talking about here?
Those
What are we talking about?
relationships, if there's really something going on that's damaging.
It's spot on. Because like anybody who's dating right now, if you talk to a girl who recently broke up with a guy, what was he? He was a narcissist and he was toxic. Every single girl is saying that 9 times out of 10. And when you're looking at these,
yeah, that's facts. A lot of girls do that shit, and they don't ever say what their part to play in it was. A lot of girls do that shit. That's a fact.
Situations when a girl breaks up with a guy, and she's like, "Well, I want to talk about what I did wrong in the relationship first."
When no, I never.
Does that ever happen?
Never.
He was just the most awful tyrant. And
To be fair, when do guys do that? You know what I'm saying? To be fair, and I don't know how often do guys say that they fucked up. I don't know. Let's see. Let me think to my experience. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's something that both parties do, both sexes do, except women just talk about that shit way more, and they're more loud with it. Niggas don't really go online complaining, talking about stuff. Well, now we do go online and talk about shit because it's more open. But before, there's not really a space for men to talk about their issues. And now the fact that men do talk about their issues with women, that's when we've been getting a lot of pushback. You know what I'm saying? But it's generally women. You're gonna talk to a girl about her ex. A lot of times they're gonna say, unless if she has a brain on her shoulders and is not a narcissist, she'll tell you the truth. Like, yeah, it was good, but it just certain things happen. I did this and he acted like this, and it just wasn't working out, and it was my fault for this. A lot of girls don't do that shit though.
she was just the innocent victim,
Angelic.
holding it together for society.
She's got the halo and he's got the devil's horns, right?
And the reality is so far from that, because a lot of people are going to have trouble with relationships, and there is a distribution of accountability for if a relationship goes south, and it's not 50-50. Sometimes men do more problems than women, sometimes women do more problems than men. But at the end of the day, going back to it, who is the one breaking up families in America? Who is the one initiating these divorces? It's not men.
Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, y'all see that, y'all heard that. Just another case of somebody trying to make excuses after getting called out for some stupid shit they said or promoted. I mean, it's not much to it. But there is definitely... But, I wanted to watch the full thing in context, right? Because people like to say people cut shit out of context. So I wanted to watch the full thing in context. of the clip that he posted. But unfortunately, there is even more to this story about this MLD dude, bruh. But we'll cover that in the next video. I'll see y'all soon.